Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Imperial Ballroom of the Aladdin Hotel, where tonight we hope to see one of the outstanding boxing matches of the evening. The first bout of the evening, the officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The judges are Chuck Giampa, Dave Moretti, and Al Siciliano. Your referee is Richard Steele. The opening ring 10 rounds of boxing in the middleweight division. Introducing in the blue corner, originally from Navajo, Mexico, now fighting out of Tucson, Arizona, weighing in at 164 pounds, with a professional record of 20 wins, 8 defeats with 11 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Enriberto Valdez. And in the red corner, fighting out of San Diego, California, he weighed in at 153 pounds. His professional record consists of 20 wins, no defeats, 9 KOs. He's rated number 2 in the junior middleweight division by the IBF and is the IBF Intercontinental Junior Middleweight Champion. Undefeated in his professional career, here is Paul, the Ultimate Vaden.
Richard Steele is the referee as he checks with Vaden and Enriberto Valdez fighting out of Tijuana. Paul Vaden, called the Ultimate, is wearing the trunks, probably making 154 or 55 or even 160 pounds.
And Vaden's back training in San Diego, as we mentioned, with his new trainer David Love, and really didn't even have to dry out. Working a little more strenuously, made weight easy.
Vaden is a very fine boxer, and he is developing a pretty good punch. Although he is 20-0 and has only 9 knockouts, I would imagine if he indeed envisions himself as being able to climb the ladder and one day hold the junior middleweight title, he's going to have to develop a pretty good punch to go with the rest of his fine skills.
Held it right, though, Tom, that Paul has a habit, probably left over a bit from the amateurs, where he'll go in, he'll land a good 3-punch combination, then he'll sort of step back like an artist would and try to admire his work. It becomes like a chess match to him. And like you said, to really go up to that next level and be fighting for world titles, you can't afford to do that. You can't let a fighter off the hook. He's got a beautiful jab.
Fighters in that junior middleweight classification, 154 pounders. Featherweight just beat Gianfranco Rossi the other day. And Rossi at 37, maybe even 38, I would think his career is pretty much behind him, although he fought for a very, very long time. He was champion a couple of times. Terry Norris, Vasquez, Verno Phillips, a lot of talented, tough fighters in that division.
And of course, you got the logjam now at BC with ending to the Santana-Norris fight. So everybody may have to sit back and watch a rematch between Santana and Norris to see before things can get moving again in the WBC.
Is Vaden all through growing? Took a pretty good left hand there, compliments of Valdez.
Well, he's had as a pro, it was kind of interesting what happened. He originally came out as a 100-pounder. They discovered, you know, that, gee, maybe that's a little bit too big for him, and he brought him down 154. At the time, he was working with Abel Sanchez, and they actually had a plan to bring him down to 147. But Paul's almost 6'2", and I thought that would have been a very bad idea, and eventually they threw that out the window. I think 154 at this point in time, with him at 26 years of age, is a good place to be. There's a lot of activity, a lot of big fights in that weight, and I think ultimately, no pun intended, he can move up to 160 pounds.
Well, he'd have been the tallest welterweight in the world at 147, wouldn't he, at 60? That's Vaden in the dark trunks with the stripe. In the blue is Valdez. This is a fight from the Aladdin Hotel last night. Scheduled for 10 in the junior middleweight division, but Out they come for round number 2. You're looking at Paul, the Ultimate Vaden. On the left side of your screen, Enriberto Valdez out of Tijuana, Mexico. This is action from the 10-round junior middleweight fight of last night at the Aladdin Hotel.
And Vaden had a pretty fair first round, Tom, but I think our experience of seeing him before, he's not a slow starter, but he's not a ridiculously quick starter either. His jab looked sharp, but he was sort of watching to see what Valdez had, and while he was watching, he ate a couple of shots too.
Yep. You know, every now and then, watching him stand there, almost posing, he looks like a young Michael Nunn.
A lot of people have said that quite a bit. There's a lot of similarities. Both like to admire their work.
Yes.
Both had the punching power, don't always use it. You know,
well, in his early career, Nunn was content to outbox you and move you around the ring and spin you around and everything else. And the big rap on him was he won't sit down and punch with anybody. He said, is the word boxing gone out of boxing? You mean I can't box and be a champion? And of course, he became one. And
then all of a sudden, though, he comes out and knocks out Colombe in one round. Has everybody thinking he's a puncher again. I don't know if he had another knockout after that.
Nice combination there and a pretty good jab by Vaden. And Valdez says, come on, let's fight. And Vaden says, I'll get to you in a moment. This is round 2 of last night. Vaden making Valdez miss. And I'll say this for the Ultimate. He's a trim, well-conditioned looking 154 pounds, Arnie.
He loves to work out. He's in spectacular shape. Up early, running every day. And I think he likes being back in San Diego, which is his hometown, and training out of there. And the combination he and David Love seem to be working. Very fast hand speed from Vaden.
He's got Valdez hurt.
That was a knockdown.
Yes, and they're going to give him a 8 count. And Valdez keeps walking over to where Vaden is. He got hit and staggered and was banged about pretty good.
Well, I hear
Valdez not throwing anything in return, and Paul Vaden using him for target practice. Very sharp.
Well, Paul came out, threw a good 4-punch combination after the knockdown, and then, in my opinion, proceeds to let Valdez off a little bit. But very fast hand speed from Vaden. Look at that.
Valdez says, come on, I'm right over here. Vaden says, I'll get to you in a moment. But he does seem to be really biding his time for a guy that has scored a knockdown in the round and is kind of stepping away from Valdez.